Hello, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. I got some new information for y'all following the Dave Chappelle shenanigans that was going on out there with the trans community, him and his stand-up comedy, and Netflix, them canceling him and then putting him back on. Y'all see how that just happened real quick. But then after the investigation was done, it led back to a pregnant woman who lost her job. Now, y'all want to know who this lady is. The lady is the organizer of the trans employee walkout. Now, as compromising as the situation is, I do gotta say that she could have been arrested, but instead they chose to let her go her own way and find employment elsewhere. To say who I'm for or against is not a question, because I just don't like to see nobody go down. But this is what's going on out here in the world and in these streets. And we got to be more careful out here. Now, if y'all read the title, y'all see what it say. Black women. Now, before I talk about anything, I'm talking about a multi-million-dollar company versus you, the employee. This ain't got nothing to do about women, black women, pregnant women, babies. This ain't got nothing to do with none of that. People losing their jobs every day at regular jobs, McDonald's and everything else. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for them. Because I mean, I'm just speaking the truth, and I don't know what happened at them jobs. But we talking about a multi-billion-dollar company. And we ain't talking about sexual harassment or none of that stuff. We just talking about a woman that's taking up for somebody else. We got to be more careful. And I know a lot of y'all don't like to hear that, but I'm just going to tell y'all something. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. We as black people, I'm going to include myself. I ain't even going to leave myself out of this. We as black women, including myself, we nosy. And we nosy to the fact to where we let, and I know this ain't got a lot to do with it, but I'm just making a point. Gossip, mess, and information jeopardize our jobs. Being too involved with the cause. I think that it should be a separate situation outside of the job versus a part of the employment. See, sometimes we got to separate ourselves from our personal goals, especially when they don't meet up and align with the corporation. And I know some folks out there seeing this and they put in applications right now. What would you do if it was your company? That gonna give you the answer you're looking for. What would you do if it was your company? Because even the ones that feel bad gonna do what they got to do. I'm just being honest. Now, I know y'all gonna probably say, everybody nosy. Everybody wanna know something. Everybody wants to do something and be a part of the cause. And you can. But there's a way to do it. But there's a fine line drawn between a person wanting to know something and a person doing something about it. And we can't hold water. But know that we got the information. We like to leak it, and we want to be the ones that get the credit for it. Now, I know y'all want to ask me what kind of information was leaked. But we already know and we already witnessed that the Dave Chappelle data was leaked for what was said about the trans community within his show. Now, this coincides with the trans walk. And since that data has been leaked on Dave Chappelle, we quickly seen a fall and a rise when it came to the community versus Netflix. So now we have the trans walk that now leads to this. But see, as you can see, that when you go so far to the lengths of doing so, it can jeopardize your whole life. And I kind of feel bad for this woman, because she is pregnant and she got to pay bills and all this and that. But they talk about this confidentiality stuff, and they only want you to just come there and work and make the money and go home. They don't want you starting your own business at the business, and they don't want you doing your own protests and stuff. They said they wouldn't hurt nobody, and all they wanted to do was put out shows. They didn't really care about all that stuff. They just care about the money. That's why Dave Chappelle back on. So, the whole scheme of the employee walkout versus Netflix just wasn't looking too good for the woman, and that's why they just had to let her go. All the rules and regulations that we be forgetting about, because we just sign the papers, we don't read the book. When they give us that big handbook at the jobs and they tell us to read the handbook, we don't read that book. we just automatically think we know wrong from right, and we figure that, okay, we ain't gonna do nothing wrong, so I don't need to read all this. But we got to read that stuff, because that stuff is there for when situations like this happen. And the open door policy is not gonna work. Like I said, I feel bad because, the kids don't either. They deserve a good life. I don't know who this person is, but I just could imagine. I've been in situations myself to where I started from the bottom, now I'm here. But at the same time, we see she worked for Netflix, and Netflix could be a pretty good job for her. I don't know how much they paying, but now she got to start over, all because of some leaked information. I would have just told them folks I don't know nothing, I ain't seen nothing. I could have known everything. I could have had the information in my pocket. I don't know. And I'm just here to tell y'all that's just the way we got to be. But we can't do what everybody else do. Now this woman that lost her job because she leaked some information, and it all pertains to Dave Chappelle and the trans community and all of this stuff that's been going on out here in the media. And while she and everybody else was just sitting back twiddling their fingers and smiling and listening to the and taking it all in, now it's just the investigation team just led it all back to her, and now she ain't got no job. You see, everybody thought they was gonna take Dave Chappelle down, but instead it led back to this woman, and now she being taken down. And that's why we got to be careful. The weakest links always lose when it comes to big money and corporations and superstars and stuff and fame. We ain't gonna get nowhere. Our words are not heard. And I know she was trying to do something for these people, but they should have just came together and did their own walk, and she could have just walked with them and supported them. Or to be honest, they should have told her, look, y'all don't need you doing this. You pregnant, you about to have your child, we want you to keep your job. See, they was too selfish to even tell her not to do this and not orchestrate all this. But instead, of course, when people selfish and they only care about themselves and their own causes, they don't even speak up for you or talk you out of it, because they want what they want. That's how they do when they trying to get what they want. And now look at this lady, jobless. That probably was the best job of her career. And now she got to go back to square one. And see, that's what we got to realize. We got to care about the facts out here. The facts is people only care about money. So when we look at things and we think about how we going to execute our plan, we got to think about who got the most money. Dave Chappelle got the most money. Netflix got the most money. Dave Chappelle making Netflix more money, and everybody else who videos they put on Netflix and movies, they making Netflix money. The girl that's pregnant, she just worked for Netflix. She ain't got no contribution to Netflix. They paying her. They giving her a check. So when you at the bottom of the totem pole, you ain't really allowed to do much. You don't really got that much being employed. And when you employed, the only thing that's left to do for people when they don't like what you do is unemploy you. But who knows? It may be a big turnaround for this. She may get her job back. You just never know. Things have happened lately, and you just be surprised what could happen. I'm not here to say. I'm just giving my own opinion about it. And when you ain't got big dollars and a big name floating around like Dave Chappelle, is the trans community gonna save you? See, that's the true question. I'm not against nobody. I'm not trying to say nothing in no sarcastic way, but I'm just being real. I'm just putting this video out here to ask, is the trans community gonna do anything about it? Are they gonna her? Are they gonna take care of her child? Are they gonna give her a job? See, that's why we gotta be careful for putting our nose into places where it don't belong, just to prove a point for the community. Because at the end of the day, like I always say, real talk, we living in a real world out here where real decisions are being made. What y'all think about this? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I'm out.